In today's video, I'm going to be showing you step by step how to create your first shipping plan inside Amazon Seller Central. And I'm also going to be showing you this with this product that I'm currently selling of shipping this inside this box to Amazon. When you're creating a shipping plan, there's no room for any kind of error, especially when Amazon is consistently updating the shipping plan page inside Seller Central. So make sure to watch all the way through so that you can ship your product safely and correctly. There's three main steps to creating your shipping plan: preparing your shipment, creating a shipping plan inside Amazon Seller Central, and then scheduling your first shipment for collection. Before we get started, if you enjoyed these videos, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified on all future content. So by you smashing the like button, it teaches the algorithm to show you better Amazon FBA content, which will therefore help you make more money. Now, the first step to preparing your shipment is going to be to print item labels, your UPC barcodes. This is regardless if you are sending products from home or if a supplier is sending products out to Amazon. To print item labels, go to the top left corner, click Manage All Inventory, and then once you're in here, go down to your product, click the right side, the three dots, and then click Print Item Labels. Now, once you get in here, you're going to be changing the number of labels to print from 1 to 30. As far as what size of barcodes that we want to be printing on, most of the time it's going to be 30 up labels, especially if you're going to be printing barcodes from home. I recommend buying this, and if you don't have any blank UPC barcode sheets, I'm going to leave a link to this product on Amazon. It's 100 sheets, 3,000 labels specifically for Amazon FBA, and it's only $14. It's an incredibly good deal. Like I said, I'll leave it linked in the description. Even if your supplier is sending out products for you, you're still going to want to print these out. You can ask them what size they prefer, but just don't make it confusing. Tell them, print it out on 30 up labels, and they'll do what you say. So go ahead, print item labels. Here's what they look like. Here's my ASIN. Sometimes it's your FN SKU, and then here's my product name. So let's go ahead and print those out. So if your supplier is shipping out products for you, you're going to need to email this barcode sheet over to them. To do that, click File, Send Local Files. So I also have a separate video that explains everything you need to know about UPC barcodes, specifically what a UPC barcode is, the difference between a SKU, an ASIN, an EAN, an ISBN, everything. And so I'm going to leave that link up above. Go ahead and check it out. Now, it's pretty simple to place a barcode on this box. You can basically place it anywhere, except if your product has a previous barcode, you need to make sure that you place your new barcode over that. If Amazon sees two separate barcodes, they're going to not know which to scan, and they'll just send it back. They won't even bother. So make sure to place your new barcode on your box just like this if you are shipping products from home. And I would just remind your supplier to place your barcode over any previous barcode that may be on the product packaging, just in case. Now, after we've printed out the UPC barcodes, we'll come back in here to the inventory tab, click these three dots, and click Send or Replenish Inventory. Once you come in here, the first thing you'll want to do is come into the top left and put in your ship from address. Now, this can be your home address if you're doing FBM, or if you're shipping from overseas, you can put in that address. Next thing is Amazon wants to know how many units we're going to be sending in, but more specifically, how many units are we going to be placing inside each box, and then how many boxes will we be sending in total. Now, this is pretty obvious if you're doing FBM or you're shipping from home. Just count how many units are in each box and then how many boxes you're going to be shipping in. But if you're doing FBA or you have a supplier or someone shipping overseas for you, it can be a little bit tricky communicating back and forth this information, because you'll need to get this information of how many units inside each box and how many boxes they'll be sending from the supplier. But it can get a little bit tricky, so I'm going to give you an example. Even if you're doing FBM, pay attention to this, because you get this wrong and you're screwed. Real quick, guys, I just launched my brand new 5-day product profit challenge where I'll teach you step by step how to find the most profitable products to sell on Amazon. The link is down below in the description. Go ahead, check it out. I'll see you in there. Let's get back to it. The first thing you need to understand is when Amazon asks how many units are you going to be sending in, they're referring to what is the customer receiving when they buy your product. Because when you think unit, you think just one thing. But you could be selling a pack of 4 of a product. You could be bundling 2 products together. And so it can get confusing as to, okay, what barcode do I place the barcode on every single product or just the product packaging? Let me explain. Let's say I'm selling these cups, these ice cream cups, and I'm selling a variation. I have 4 ice cream cups that are 16 ounces and then 4 that are 24 ounces, okay? And I want to send in 100 units. And I'm going to refer to 1 unit equaling 4 cups total, because if I buy the cups, I'm going to receive the 4 cups, not just 1. And let's say I want to send in 100 units. When you communicate this to your supplier, you want them to understand that they need to place a barcode on every product packaging essentially, or every unit. Sometimes I'll refer to a pack of 4 as a set. Like you need to place each barcode on each set. A lot of times they'll refer to products as like pieces, like PCS. I don't know why, but just make sure that they understand this. So if you do have a variation, you're going to have 2 separate barcodes. And that's where this can get even more tricky if you do have a variation. That's why I always recommend, if you're just starting off, just do 1 variation of a product, not multiple. But I hope that makes sense. So 1 unit equals whatever the customer is receiving when they purchase your product, whether it's 1 cup if you're only selling 1 SKU, or 1 product. Along with this example, let's say I'm ready to ship these cups over to Amazon. And so I asked the supplier how many cups or how many product sets or how many units will be placed in each box. So 1 unit will equal this red square. And they say we're going to place 20 units per box. They may refer to this as a big box or a container. It's really just how many product sets or, how many units are in each box. And then they say, we're going to send in 5 boxes, 100 units total. Does that make sense? Perfect. Let's go back to the actual shipping plan that I'm creating right now. I'm sending in 100 of these rubber band guns. Because a customer is going to only receive 1 rubber band gun, okay, every time they purchase it, I'm going to refer to this as 1 unit equals 1 piece. And the supplier tells me, hey, if you want to send in 500 units, there's going to be 125 units per big box or per container. And we're going to be sending 4 big boxes. And I say, perfect. Can I get the size dimensions, meaning the length, width, and height of each box and how much the box weighs? You need this information. They come back to me and they say, yes, each box is 20 by 13 by 16 inches and it's 46 pounds per box. Know this, that a box cannot exceed 25 inches per side and it cannot exceed 50 pounds per box. If the supplier tells you otherwise, that the box is greater than those lengths or weights, you need to go back to them and say, I cannot accept that. Amazon will not receive that. They need to be packaged in smaller boxes, even if it's more. Okay, we're going to take this information back into Seller Central. Now, when you click this drop down, it's going to say individual units or create new packaging template. There's a difference between the two, okay? Essentially, if you're sending in a box of products that have the same items, okay, the same SKU name, the same condition, the same product, then we're going to click case packed products. But if we're sending in a box of random products or various SKUs, different barcodes, different names of these products, different conditions, we're going to click individual products and then put in how many units are in that box. But you want to keep in mind that you can't exceed 150 units inside each of these boxes. This is really another way to say this is if you're doing retail or online arbitrage and you're sending in a box full of random different products, then you want to click individual units. But if you're sending in a shipment of essentially all the same product, but they just vary in how many units per box, then we're going to do case pack products. Now that I have all the information, I'm good to go. So under packing details, I'm going to click down and create a new packing template. For the name, I like to just be very detailed so I don't get confused and I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to be sending in 125 units per box and I'm sending in 4 boxes total. You're going to click case pack and then how many units per box? 125. And we figured out from the supplier or we measured the box from home that it is 20 by 16 by 13. And each box is 46 pounds. Okay. And then I'll come back in here, click the template I just created. And then right here, it should show the correct amount of units per box. And then we're going to send in 4 boxes. And this should total how many units overall you're going to be sending in. Real quick, let's say I'm sending in 550 units and there's one box that has 50 units, but it's too big of a box to only place 50 units. And so the supplier or you are going to ship it in a different size box. And so you need to add in this like one-off size box. What you can do is click more inputs, add packing line, and then create a new packing template for any kind of different sized box. Okay. But after we put all that in, we'll click ready to send. That looks great. Make sure this all looks good and then confirm and continue. The next is we need to confirm the shipping information. To do that, we'll need to select first the date that we plan to ship out our products. And then we're going to be selecting an inbound placement service. This is a newer type of thing on Amazon. And I have a whole video set apart to explain what this is and how to optimize for the cheapest option that I'll leave linked above. But for the most part, you really just want to pick the cheapest option. All right. In this situation, it's given us 2 different options. We can either ship our products out to 2 separate locations, basically, or just one. And so what you can do is click this drop down and see the prices for each. Obviously, this $90 is going to be the cheapest. So I'll select that. The next thing is going to be shipping mode. Almost all the time, it's going to be small parcel delivery, and then selecting the shipping carrier. If you're doing FBM or you're shipping from home, you'll be most likely doing this UPS Amazon partner carrier. Or if you're having your supplier ship out the products for you, or someone overseas, whatever, then you'll select non-Amazon partnered carrier. And then this is where you're going to put in which carrier will be shipping out your product. And so you'll need to get that from your supplier. In this situation, UPS will be shipping it out. Once I put all that in, I'm essentially confirming the information here, and I'm going to be putting in the estimated time that my product will be shipped and at the fulfillment center. You can always change this. If it's overseas, I typically put in anywhere from 30 to 60 days in the future. Or if you're shipping from home, then I will usually put in about 7 days into the future. So let's say I'm shipping overseas, I'll put in a month from now. And this can be changed if you'd like to. After I click accept, it's going to be generating the shipping labels. Now, these are the shipping labels that will be placed over each big box that you're shipping to Amazon. So typically, if I'm shipping from home, I will almost always do the US letter shipping size. Or if you're having someone else, your supplier, ship them out, then I'll still typically choose this option and then click print. So this is what they look like. And just as a reminder, we're sending in 4 big boxes. And so I should have 4 shipping labels, which I do. Here's 1 and 2, and then to a different Amazon location, 3 and 4. If you're doing FBM, shipping from home, then you can print. Or if my supplier or someone overseas is going to be shipping out my products for me, then I need to send these big box labels for them to paste over each big box. Like I did with the UPC barcodes, I'm going to download this file and then email it over to them. But if you are shipping products from home, let's say, for example, this is my big box. I have 125 pieces or little units inside this box. I'm going to be printing and cutting out each shipping label, and I'll paste this over each box. Okay, this is what it looks like. So if you're shipping from home, you shouldn't have to put in your tracking ID number right here. But if you have a supplier or someone overseas is going to be shipping out your product, they will have this tracking ID. You'll have to get it from them. I typically will wait about a week after I send them my shipping labels, and then they'll usually have the tracking ID for me. Then what I suggest doing is going to your shipping queue. Now, once I come into the shipping queue, I could see both of the shipments that I just created. It separates these per what location it's going to be sending to. What that means is 250 units are going to be shipped to one Amazon warehouse, and then 250 units will be shipped to a different Amazon warehouse. So what I actually like to do is come in here and edit this name. I usually just put in my product name, how many units in total will be sent to that location, and then how many units per box will be sent. I'll click save. As your units start to ship out and be received in the Amazon warehouses, then you're going to see updates in here. So when you want to track different shipment updates, then come back in here and then you'll be updated as to when they've received your units and then when they start to scan in individual units. Either way, I hope this video has been helpful in learning how to create a shipping plan, especially if you're just starting off. If so, hit the like button and of course subscribe so that you can see more Amazon FBA content and make more money on Amazon. And I'll see you in the next one.